I found out how the new rich make money. Alright, so welcome everybody. So today I'm going to share with you a quick presentation I've made for multiple successful entrepreneurs, consultants, right? And I'm just going to adapt that presentation I did was pretty well received into today's YouTube video, so you get all the access to it completely for free. And with that, let's get started. So, who is Mark Teo? For those who are not too sure yet, if you haven't seen me before, there's a couple of things myself. I was in the tech startup space where I actually accessed more than 1,000 entrepreneurs, made quite a bit of money for them. I was a digital marketer, generated more than 300,000 for side hustles, and became number one affiliate for Tony Robbins. And took a little of faith, generated multiple six-figure lifestyle coaching company right now. And this is something that I do because hopefully some of you might be clients in the future. If not, I hope you guys enjoy this trading, get what you need out of it, and use it to make a wonderful, rich life. So with that, we're going to get started. I created Master Mentors because of this one question many years ago, my company. Why can different people attend the same course, read the same book, receive the same exact information, but achieve drastically different results? And so this is what this presentation is going to be about today. And so after more than 40 interviews with some Asia's top coaches and trainers in my channel, more than $150,000 worth of coaching and seminars, 250 unique coaching calls, 300 trainings and workshops, I'll be sharing with you the best lessons and takeaways I've gathered over the past 5 years. Over to you. So who can you use this presentation for? You can use it to help yourself, you can use it to help your clients, you can use it to help your team members, your prospects, your partners, your family members, your friends, your community, and basically anybody you wish to help win. You can use this presentation to help all of them, as I've tested it out multiple times through this presentation already. So some of you might find what I say familiar in this entire presentation. So some of the concepts, the strategies, the mindsets, you might be like, hey, I heard that before. So I realized my invitation is that the biggest question to ask yourself today is, how can I apply this, or how can I apply this better? So it's not about whether you've heard this before as well. Have I taken action on this? And even if I have, wonderful. How can I apply this better to my life? And I guarantee you, with these questions, you're going to help make this presentation very beneficial for yourself. And so the first thing I'm going to ask all my clients or my prospects, my participants, the people I work with, to always ask themselves to answer these three questions, which is, where are they from a scale of 1 to 10? Some of you might have watched it before, some might have not, but basically having a compelling vision. So 1 to 3 means you're very lost, and 9 to 10 is every day you're actually excited to live out your dream vision to achieve it. And number 2 is unstoppable force, where 1 to 3 you don't even know what you want to do and you're extremely burnt out. Or 9 to 10 is you are extremely effective and strategic in every single thing that you do. And of course, number 3, effortlessly generate, where 1 to 3 is not just low and unfulfilling income, but 9 to 10 is you have multiple streams of ever flowing income. So one thing I always share with a lot of my people that I talk to them is, always rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 and always ask yourself, are you constantly improving in these 3 numbers? And so if you can take this pause, check it out. If not, we'll move on with it. And so this is one of my favorite quotes of all time, where if information was the answer, we'll all be billionaires with perfect apps. And this just is a huge reminder to me and all my clients, the people I work with, which is, if information were the answer, all of us would already be successful. But the reason is we are not, is always because of something else, whether it's implementation, it could be mindset, it could be psychology. And so the aim of this presentation is to share with you some of the strategies that I've came to realize that have helped us to not only, yes, get more information, but at the same time, achieve the results that we want once and for all. And so today, very quickly, I will not be talking about these topics. I will not be talking about hustle, motivation, willpower, environment, all of this. There might be some trainings in my other YouTube videos, but today I'm not talking about all of this. I'm going to cover 3 main points: conviction, clarity, and consistency. However, it will not be in the way that you think, as I've gotten feedback from many of my people I've shared this with. So number 1, we'll talk about conviction very quickly. And so how many of you here know someone who gets pumped up after a seminar, but then goes back to their old habits after a few days or weeks, right? And so for example, I've always attended lots of Tony Robbins events, watched of courses, a lot of seminars, but I get very high for a while, right? A lot of results, a lot of progress, but after a while, then it seems to taper off. And so what I realized after talking to lots of people through my interviews, that this usually happens because people have deep-seated issues, limiting or limiting beliefs that hold them back. So it could be because of their childhood, because of how society has changed them, because of the fear of how other people might be like when they do change or improve their lives. And the thing is, yes, we can try to solve or overcome some of these issues. And so today's sharing is not about how do we overcome those limiting beliefs or limiting emotions, because a lot of us, we are not here to be therapists or trauma healers here. So the question is, how do we use it to our advantage? And so a quick story, some of you might have already known, which is how I got started, which is to becoming the number 1 affiliate for Tony Robbins, is I applied for a form. And I remember one of the form, there was a response of how many social media followers you have. And immediately I really thought that I wasn't the right person to affiliate for Tony Robbins. But the reason why I got it, and the reason why I applied in the first place, which was, so what if I got rejected? And because at that point of time, I was extremely new to this whole digital marketing, online marketing space, without that belief of, yeah, even if I apply, I don't get, if I get rejected, so what? If I didn't have that mindset, I would have never applied the form in the first place. And this mindset helped me a lot when I also when I actually was invited to join the affiliate marketing group with Tony Robbins affiliates. And this I had multiple 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs. And again, I could have chosen to just give up and be like, screw it, all these people are already affiliating, why me? And the reason again why I decided just go for it and try and just do whatever it took to succeed was because of the question of, so what if I fail? It wasn't to address my fears, my limiting beliefs. It was just basically one thing. And I'll share with you more about it later. But fortunately, because of that one mindset of, so what if I fail? What's the worst case scenario? Right, I was invited to Tony Robbins. I was able to see him. Right, went to Las Vegas 2019 on my birthday to see him as well, which is pretty cool, and made quite a bit of money from it. And the reason was because I took action only because I saw value even if I failed. So yes, I had a dream outcome, I had the goals, the ambition of making a lot of money, right, learning a lot, growing a lot. But I knew that it was actually unrealistic for me, right, to try to succeed like many of these people. And I only had that mindset of like, yeah, so what if I fail? And that got me to get started. And so what I realized again, the psychology of this is the brain is always wired to survive, it's not to thrive. And so how do we make use of our survival brain to actually help us to propel ourselves to succeed? And so instead of fighting against our brain's instincts in our communication and marketing messages, which is what I know a lot of us might be used to, why not paint the benefits of the worst case scenario as well? Because chances are, a lot of us, even if we fail at our new project, our new program, our new launch, our business, we are going to learn a lot, we're going to benefit a lot from that as well. And so the question is, how can we make that clearer? Because if we're not clear about it, chances are our brain just goes to a worst case scenario, and then we don't think about it, and then we just procrastinate and we don't achieve the results that we want. And so, for example, when I publish a post, the big question is, what's the worst can happen, right? Maybe a few people see the post, maybe I don't get any results or likes, maybe I piss off some people in a post. And so the question is again, what's the benefits if I realize that I posted something that might piss off people or for them to say negatively about me? And so the clearer I am of the worst case scenario, I can start painting what are the benefits that could happen from there as well. I get to learn. At the very least, I know that people are noticing me. That's about it, right? I get to learn, I get more experience, and the worst case scenario is people get pissed off, but at least it shows that I'm actually stating messages that people are actually listening. And so again, this works for viral referral and affiliate campaigns as well. I'll share with you a little bit later. So my experience in my entrepreneurship journey. So yes, while I was able to make money through coaching, affiliate marketing, something that I done pretty well after my experience as the number one affiliate for Tony Robbins is I actually consulted companies to run referral and affiliate and giveaway campaigns as well. So for example, the first event I ever tested out, me and my team, we generated about 6 figures with about 10,000 organic signups during the COVID period. I was just assisting at a point of time. The second event, we made about 6 figures with more than 3,000 organic signups. We ran a bit of ads, but most of our signups were driven by organic as well. I also consulted 8-figure education company to achieve multiple 6 figures. Got quite a bit of money from that through consulting them. And I also consulted multiple marketers, trainers, and speakers to employ a referral system in their events and programs after. So that's pretty cool. And so one of the biggest lessons I learned, and I'll share with you a bit of what I did, is to actually go to the worst case scenario for people. So instead of having the usual top 3 prizes like most companies do, what they do is, okay, guys, right, participate in this giveaway contest, share our post, invite people to join, and the top 3 prizes will give you something. Or all of you will be participating in a contest, and one of you will win a ultimate grand prize, which is great. But what I realized is because most people don't take part because they usually don't think they're lucky enough or they're good enough to win the contest. So what we actually offered was tiered gifts for every sign up. So for example, we had tiered gifts for 1, 3, 5, 10, 20 signups, which is, so for example, if you're like, I might ask you, hey, maybe you won't get 20 signups, why not 1 sign up? Why not 3 signups? And so that is more realistic for a lot of people who usually don't think the craziest level of results for themselves. And so we have tiered signups into 1, 3, 5, 10, 20. On some levels, there's incentive for every single sign up. So I had one client that actually offered, I think, like $3 or $5 for every sign up you did, which works as well, because then you get results for every single sign up, whether you do amazing or not. We also have prizes top 4 to 20. So again, instead of just having top 3 prizes, we have prizes all the way from top 4 to 20. So people who felt that, hey, maybe the top 3 isn't very likely, but at least I get the top 20 as well. And again, one thing we also shared is, instead of just keeping all the signups a secret, we communicate how far each person was from another on a regular basis as well. So people, the clearer they are of how far they are to the prizes or the incentives, the more incentivized they are to do. And so the lesson over here is, don't just raise the value of the dream outcome, raise the value of the worst probable outcome as well. And so with this lesson, we realize that yes, we can try to be trauma healers or mindset coaches for some people, but again, those will take quite a while for us to get results. However, if you truly want to get people to take action, whether it's ourselves or other people, don't just share all the wonderful dream benefits over and over again, but share about what's the benefits of the worst probable outcome as well. And so the second point is clarity. So, for example, just introducing a very quick exercise where I got introduced to tapping maybe about 1-2 years ago. It's a way to actually just tap yourself to get quite a lot of energy and blood flow in your life is meant to be very healthy, gives you a lot more energy, a lot more focus, and it helps to boost your lymphatic system. And so what I did during the live presentation, I actually got everybody to stand up. So if you want, you can test it out and stand up yourself. And I said, okay, with all of this that I just mentioned, I'll just say 1, 2, 3. I want you to start tapping your body. So 1, 2, 3. I'll say go. And so there's some people that were like, okay, tap my body, right? Which part, right? And so there was a lot of like people were trying it out, people were testing it out. And then I got them to sit down and I asked them this question: how do you find exercise? A lot of them were like, oh yeah, it's not bad. I don't know what was I doing, tap where. So there's a lot of questions, and even though some of them could see some benefit to just tapping our body, people really didn't know how to react because they didn't know that this was just a demo test, right, for my next lesson. Which is, the less skilled or knowledgeable we are, the more specific a command should be. And so what do I mean? So if I shared this, if I told people who already knew the tapping exercise, who have already done some experience, I could just tell them and say, okay, ready, 3, 2, 1, start tapping your body. And they could have done it just very easily, just like that, obviously. However, right, if you are new, you're not too sure, you haven't done some exercise before, chances are you will get a little bit unaware. You'll be wondering how the hell do you do it in the first place, and so it wouldn't be as beneficial as people who have already done it before. And so the way to overcome that issue or that challenge is to make sure that you have specific commands, especially if you know that the person is not very well versed in whatever you want them to do in the first place. So what if, for example, I told you exactly where to tap? Maybe I say tap here is the best. Maybe tapping the leg or maybe tapping the head would be the best. I do it exactly where. I show you how many times or how long, how fast do it. I say, okay, so tap it in a very quick, constant pace like that. I'll tap 60 times. Alright? Just like that. Right? What else to do while tapping? So for example, I can say, okay, so while you're tapping, I want you to breathe. And I provided a clear demonstration of how it should look like. For example, where I did this. A clear demonstration. I told you exactly where to step, where to tap, how many times for how long and fast to do it, and what else to do while you're tapping. Will you be more likely to succeed then? And the chances is probably yes, even if you have very little experience or no experience at all. And so the big lesson we'll learn over here is, for maximum results, you want to provide clear instructions and demonstrate how it works. So the reason why most people maybe fail or struggle even after attending lots of programs and seminars is just because sometimes it's not because the guru or coach is not good, it's just because they don't have the right instructions that is clear and specific even for the people who are newer. So a lot of us here, when we're trying to share things that are good, right? We'll share our expertise, our experiences, we're trying to give advice. We are pretty good at what we do, and that's why we want to give the advice. But the problem is when we're unable to break it down for others to do so. And so the rule of thumb, again, the better or more familiar we are with a certain topic, the more general command can be. So if I already say, hey, can you help me walk over, can you help me get some groceries? You already know, okay, groceries is just about 10 minute walk away. I probably need to bring my phone, my credit card. I need to know how to get it, how to buy it. You already know how to do it, right? With just one sentence, go and get some groceries. But if you don't know what you're supposed to do, if you don't have much experience, you're not familiar, then you have to be very specific. Wear your shoes, right? As you take your wallet, take your credit card, wear your shoes, take the lift, go downstairs, walk there for 5 minutes straight, turn left, turn right, go to the store, grab. Like, you have to be actually, yes, a lot of instructions for you to just do one simple instruction. And so if you link this to business or life, you realize that, again, the more inexperienced or the less familiar people are with that task or the strategy, the more specific you want those instructions to be. So for example, for this statement, I want you to grow the company sales by at least 25% this year. How will a CEO versus a 16-year-old respond to it? So a CEO, right, will already know exactly what to do, right? Because he might have experience in sales, marketing, knows how to talk about, knows about product creation, so on and so forth. A 16-year-old intern without much experience. Again, disclaimer, some 16-year-olds are doing very well, making millions of dollars, probably more than me, I get it, but this is the average 16-year-old who might not know business. They'll be like, okay, how the hell do I do that? So again, it's always about the more familiar we are, the more general a more general account can be. So again, if you want to guarantee success for yourself, your clients, your customers, or the people around you that you want to win, break it down that even a 7-year-old kid can understand it. Okay, so many of my clients came after joining such $30,000 programs, not because the guru or the coach weren't doing well. It was because that I was able to break down the steps into specific clear instructions that you could just pick and achieve success without much help on that front. Okay, so again, this is not because the guru was good, he just did not break it down into practical steps for everyone to understand. So today's world of information overload, remember, video courses with AI transcripts and summary just aren't enough anymore. You have to make sure it's quality step-by-step stuff that people can just take action just like that. Okay, so for example, in our program, we have many step-by-step playbooks. So with scripts, templates, case studies, live examples that people can immediately read the playbook, don't even need to talk to me sometimes, and get the results themselves already. And so a very clear, a very quick example of what are a good step-by-step playbook to give people instead of just shooting videos or online courses is to have these 5 elements. Number 1, why. Right? Why do you want people to use that strategy? What are the benefits of using a strategy would be for? Number 2, what. What is the strategy about? Right? Can you explain a little bit what is it about so people can understand what's the concept or why that strategy could work? Number 3, how. The step-by-step stuff about exactly what you need to do to get the benefits of that result or that strategy. Then you want to wow them, right? You can wow them with templates, live case studies, samples, live demonstrations, whatever it is to help them, to wow them, to make it more easier for them to succeed. And then now, the exact steps they can implement right away to be able to get the results that they want. So this is the exact blueprint we use for all our playbooks so that our clients can use them to get results just like that. Okay, so again, we also have scripts, templates, examples. These are things that we use. So for example, all my clients get all my past posts, they can use and model after themselves. And we also get scripts to use it and promote anything at the same time. Okay, so again, I know I'm taking a bit long on this, but remember, by breaking things down into simpler steps, we make it more likely for experienced people to succeed and give those with less experience a better chance to win as well. So the third one is what I call consistency. So this is one of my favorite charts of all time by James Clear, right? Atomic Habits. If you're 1% better every day, it's 37 times better than where you were when you first started. If you're 1% worse every day, you're actually at 0.03 right when you first started, which is ridiculous. And so the big question is, how many of you here have felt busy before? Right? If you're watching these, chances are you might have felt busy, overwhelmed, too many commitments one time before. And I'll share with you a very quick story about one of the most powerful lessons in my life. So this is a story I share with all my clients. A lot of my clients, when they first started, I share my workshops, my coaching programs. And the intention of this story is to share with people a very powerful lesson which you'll hear at the end of the story. And so the story goes like this. So a couple of years ago, so again, right after I flew to Las Vegas for my event with Tony Robbins, I actually flew over to Bangkok to meet my wife to just holiday, to have a quick vacation before we went back to Singapore. And what happened is because the next day we actually went to Platinum Mall, some people know it's Bangkok, to go shop. And my then girlfriend, now wife, knew that, hey, I know you're tired, probably jet lag, why not you just sit down, have a break while she goes for shopping. So I was very grateful. And so I just rested a while she went for shopping. And so what happened was, because I got a bit restless after chilling a while, reading a bit of books, and grabbing a drink, I decided to walk around by myself as well while listening to a podcast. And what's interesting is at the point of time, I still remember the podcast. It was by this man called Derek Sivers. And he said one quote that I still remember today, which is, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And so the question for you very quickly, which is, when was the last time you said yes to something that was decent or good? You didn't really want it, but because of that, you realize that you actually sacrificed something that could have been even more amazing. All right, it could be saying yes to someone wanting 15 minutes of your time, to a project that they said they thought was good, but you were like, nah, maybe it's not too good. And because of that, you wasted a lot of your time. And so anyway, the big lesson of that quote is, if you say yes to the good, you're saying no to the great. And so I was pretty inspired by that, because I'm someone who actually used to say yes to a lot of small things, and because of that, I don't say yes to the amazing, great thing. And so when that happened, I was quite excited. I was like, yes, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Moving forward my life, I'm going to just say hell yes to the things that I really want. And interestingly, I went to the store. I went walk past one of the stores, and I saw my wife, my girlfriend then, and she was like, she was actually showing me two blouses. She was like, hey, come, right? She saw me and she asked me, come, which blouse do you think was the nicest? And I remember it was quite interesting because the shopkeeper was a small lady, looking at me with those expectant eyes, because knowing that I'm the boyfriend, that I'll probably say buy both, and so she could make some good sales. But what do you think I said after listening to that podcast? What do you think I told her? If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. So don't buy either. And so you can only guess what happened to me after that. Okay, so anyway, then we bought both, right? Because just want to help her, as if just want her to be happy. But anyway, the big lesson overlearned here is, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And so when I shared that story, I was actually pretty confident that people remember that story over and over again. But what I realized is, even after following up with my clients or customers who still remember that story because I shared it in that manner, people don't really learn, or in a way, people don't really implement. They still say yes to maybe buying courses that are not right for them. They still say yes to requests by people that are not very aligned to what they needed at that point of time. And I was like, didn't you remember? If it's not hell, it's not hell, no, right? And they were like, yeah, but... And then they give me all the reason. And so I love this quote by Alex Hormozy as well, which is, learning is not really about hearing the lesson or reading about it. The real thing about learning is that if you have the same condition, you will give a different behavior. So to be fair, so did my clients or the people I shared this to really learn after hearing my story? Maybe not. They might remember the lesson, they might not have really learned. And so what I realized, I love this quote, which is, I now judge myself about whether I've learned something over whether have I taken a different action with the same amount of behavior. Taken the different action with the same amount of behavior. And at the same time, I judge my intelligence about how fast can I make a behavior change. So if you want to be smart, you got to learn. If you want to learn, you got to change. And I love this quote because I've used it because why? It's all then just about implementation and taking action. Adopting this one attitude helped me to change everything. And so a quick question, for example, is what is something that is guaranteed in sales and marketing? If you're doing sales, one thing that will always be guaranteed. And the answer is rejections. And so instead of telling my clients or my customers or my participants or people into sales that they should try to avoid rejections, get them to accept as soon as possible that they will be rejected. But the problem is they will forget, right? They will forget. So I've just accepted that people will forget my lessons and not do what they're supposed to. So similar, right? I got people to accept that they will always be rejected for sales marketing. It's a no-brainer. Same thing. I've gotten to realize that there is a guarantee that people will forget what I said and not do what they're supposed to do. And so the question is, how do I overcome that? So for example, I always have follow-up scripts. So for example, when I DM people, I will already assume that some of them, if not all of them, will actually not reply me ASAP. And so I've already prepared it by preparing follow-up scripts so that they can do it, so that there will be more reminders or they'll be more likely to reply me already. I don't even hope that they don't, I don't even hope that they stop replying me or whatnot. I already accepted it as a fact, and so that I can just reply them. So similarly, like I said, for my clients, I already accepted that many of them will not remember what I have to say. Again, I can do everything I can to try to get them to remember, but I also realize that no matter what I do, sometimes there will always be rejections, there will always be clients that forget what they're supposed to do. So again, then I have weekly reminders for them to share, that take their actions, or in this case, to share their weekly reflections. I've automated reminders because why? Instead of praying that they do what I want them to do, I set up reminders, systems, processes, such that I maximize the probability of them to get it done. Okay, so with that, here's the recap. Number one, conviction. You instead of the usual advice of telling people to find out their dream outcome, their dream goals, your ideal vision, you also want people to paint the benefits of the worst case scenario. Number two, clarity. You want people to break down. The more familiar we are with a command, the more general steps can be. But if you really want to maximize your project success for everybody, work with, or even for yourself, break down those exact steps to take so that you're more likely to succeed. Thirdly is consistency. Provide repeated and timely reminders if a particular action that you want someone to take, or even yourself, is important to you in the first place. So provide repeated and timely reminders. And so again, quick question, remember to ask, how can I apply this, or how can I apply this better? Again, learning equals to same condition, different behavior. Intelligence is the speed of behavior change. If you truly want to be smart, if you truly want results, you got to learn. If you want to learn, you got to change. Freaking love this. Okay, so with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. So this is my personal goal, 10,000 subscribers by end of 2024. If any of you can check it out, go to www.mark2.com. I would really appreciate it. And again, it's an invitation to you. If you want unlimited personal support to make extra $10,000 to $30,000 per month while enjoying your lifestyle business next 6 to 12 months, you can check out the link somewhere in the description below, or you can drop me a message on Facebook. And if you're not ready yet, again, you can always grab my best stuff for free as well. So if not, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon.